Michelle Pridgeon. I manage the Independence Farmers Market, and a lot of our food is coming from there. Some of it is also just from the regular grocery store. With me is Chef Jen Cavey. She also is at the Independence Farmers Market and is our biggest produce grower. Today we're going to be making grits and greens with sausage, and we're going to get started first by starting our grits because they take the longest. They can take up to 25 minutes to cook. Jen just added a quart jar of water because we need 4 cups of water, and a quart jar just makes an easier measuring container. And while Jen gets started with the grits, I will be washing some greens. We're going to add half a teaspoon.
I did one.
1 teaspoon of salt. It's going to come to a boil before we add the grits. She's stirring it up a little bit.
All right.
Do you want to go ahead and start the sausage while I'm washing?
You know, I'll form it up into patties and you go wash.
All right. All right.
There you go.
We are cooking kale today. When you buy greens from the store or when you get them from the farmer's market, typically they will be washed first, but you always want to wash your greens one more time when you get them home. You can put them straight into your sink, or we just happen to have a big container. It's nice cold water. You want to swish them around a little bit, and you know that your greens are clean when your water stays nice and clean. All right, we're going to put them, I'm going to shake out the excess water and put them into a colander. That's just a bowl that has lots of holes in it. And we're going to let the excess water drain out. Alrighty. Meanwhile, Jen's over there making ginormous sausage patties.
All right. Well, we're going to do this 2 ways. We're going to make sausage patties, which you're just forming just into little patties, just like that. And we're going to show you another, we're going to crumble this. So you can have your sausage 2 ways. If we crumble it, it takes less time, so if you're in a hurry, we'll do crumbled. This, it's prettier on a plate. So we're going to do both ways and show you.
And when you're cooking your sausage, because it's a ground meat, you want to make sure that you've cooked it all the way through and there's no pink showing. With patties, because they're larger, you're going to want to cook them fairly low and slow, and you'll flip them a couple of times just to make sure they're brown on both sides and cooked through. With the crumbles, you can cook them on higher heat because they're smaller pieces and they'll cook faster. All right, if you'll notice, we put lids on both the sausage and our water so it would heat up faster. And since we are at a boil, Jen's going to add a cup of grits. So again, it's a cup of grits to 4 cups of water.
You add this really slowly. You don't, just go ahead with it down. Add the grits slowly. You don't want to clump them up and then just start stirring.
And Jen's going to be stirring off and on the whole time the grits are cooking. And
it's going to take a while. It's going to take like 2 minutes before it'll stay suspended. But if you didn't cook them until they're rolling boil, they'll just fall to the bottom and clump.
And stick to the pan
and
more
stick
than
to
likely.
the pan and burn. So just stir. Go ahead.
All right, while she's doing that, we're going to add some garlic when we cook the greens. A really easy thing to do to make garlic easier to peel is squash it with a cup. I tend to get a little carried away when I do that, and then you just want to peel all the paper off. Oh yeah. So don't squish it quite as hard, but it is a lot of fun, I have to say.
And then you're just going to set that aside for when we start cooking the kale.
But I'm going to chop it first, right?
Yes, and you want to do a couple pieces.
All right. Because, I mean, I like garlic a lot, so does Jen. Again, all of this is, please taste your food while you're cooking and decide what kind of spices you are comfortable with and what you like.
All right, I'm turning this down to medium. And I'm also going to refill my jar because I might need to keep adding water until it's tender. So just because we started with 4 cups doesn't mean we're going to end with 4 cups. So let me get, and you can see, look, it's suspended. See how it's no water on top? All right, and I'm going to slow that boil down a little bit more. I've got it to medium heat, and grab some more water.
All right, I'm gonna chop up the garlic really small. You can do this using a grater. And actually, the difference between me chopping something and Jen chopping something, she has way better knife skills than me.
It's garlic, it's fine. I'm going to wash the kale one more time because we're still buggy. So that just involves filling that container back up with water one more time.
Okay, you think the garlic's small enough?
I think it's perfect. Just set it aside on that. Here, let me get you a bowl.
So what Jen's doing is she's getting me a bowl, and I don't know if you noticed when we first started, we had all our ingredients and all of the utensils we would need set out. Official chefs call that mise en place. What it really means is you just get all your stuff together before you start. It makes cooking way easier. All right, I'm gonna throw the garlic peels away. The other thing I forgot to tell you is this was the same cutting board we used for the sausage. We washed it in between. You don't want to put raw
Sorry about that, a
vegetables
little loud.
on the same cutting board that you put raw meat on. Sorry, I should use the trash bag.
It's all right. It's starting to stick a little bit, so just scrape it off the bottom. And it's getting a little bit thick, and I don't think it'll be tender yet, because grits usually take about 20 minutes. We just add another ½ cup or so. Make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. And I slowed both things way down. And look, it spits. So it's cooking right. That's the way it does it.
Our patties are nice and brown, and just to be sure that they are cooked all the way through, I usually just chop one in half, and again, a nice cooked center, no pink is showing. These guys are done. We're almost ready to eat. And what we're going to do is we had mentioned we were going to cook both patties and crumbles. So I'm just going to throw this sausage in here. I'm tearing it up a little bit, and it will fall apart more when I'm stirring.
Move your pan a little bit, you're fine. Your pan was off the heat.
Yes, and I totally, now that my hands are dirty, I forgot to cover the sausage.
You wash your
We're going to let
hands?
Jen do that.
We're just going to cover it, just so it doesn't get dry. We're going to wait until this is done for plating. But that's ready to go, just about. We're going to finish this up. And in another 5 minutes, we're going to finish this up. So while Michelle comes back here to stir that, I'm going to show you how to cut up greens. So we finally got these washed after 5 or 6 washings. And so I usually just put them in a bundle. And you take your fingers and you kind of make them a wall. And then you never pick your knife up past your fingers. Don't lay your fingers out straight because you'll whack them with your knife. Here's an easy way to see if your pan is hot. Just throw a little water in there and look, you get bubbles. Look at that, it's beautifully hot. And so now, let's add butter. All right. Oops, Kind of added a bit too much. Let's take some of that out. Ooh, look at that. All right. Yeah, that's what an egg is supposed to sound like. All right, so we're just gonna let it fry there for a second. See, it's not stuck to the bottom of the pan. That's nice. And while it's cooking on one side, we'll just season it on this side. A little salt, a little pepper. And some people like an egg sunny side up, which is beautiful. You gotta be careful and get all these white bits done. If I'm doing sunny side up, I'll actually put a lid on it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook these over hard. All right? I'm just gonna break the yolk. We're gonna cook that all the way and plate that up. How about that? All right, Michelle, what do you think? Why don't you throw a little grits on that?
So, some people like their food not to touch. However, I think this tastes really good if you go ahead and put your grits. Oops. Put your greens
Perfect.
on your grits.
And then slide this way. Hold on a second, we're not done. Oops, I don't have a thing.
We're gonna put your sausage patty.
Yes, yes, yes. Like
And
that.
we still have just enough room for the egg.
There you go. Perfect.
Ta-da.
And then do this separate, honey. Just do this separate for those people who like separate. Because why not?
Why not?
Why not? All right, we'll do a little gravy. So you can do it any way you want. Oops, I can't do it that way, sorry. There we go. We'll turn that off.
And some sausage crumbles.
Oh, you know, it'd be so good. Oh, it touched. It touched. Oh, no. Anyway, there's another way.
And this is great for breakfast or dinner.
Absolutely. Delicious stuff. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. Once you're done with your grits, and you may have leftovers, if you go ahead and put them in a container, and then I'm going to leave it out on the counter. I know we're not supposed to leave things out on the counter to cool, but you really need to leave these on the counter until they're cool before putting them in the fridge, or they're actually will get really wet. They'll draw all the moisture to it. So let them. So I'm going to let this cool. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to slice this, and I can have grits and greens again tomorrow. I can just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds to a minute, and it just slices up real nice. You can grill it, you can put it in the oven. It's called polenta in Italian.